The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this?" ? Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" ! Catch! Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
Okay, so that's a lot of information, and it helps. I know a lot of people have been wondering, like, was this person a professional hitman or something? I know some people say, well, he took a hunting rifle and he hit a person from 200 yards away. That's totally within the bounds of a normal thing. From everything we've seen about this kid and his family, they lived in Utah. Lots of people use guns and they shoot. That's what these guns are for. It was not a moving target. This did not require John Wick or something to do. And so there does not seem to be any evidence that this was a professional assassin or something like that. It's a kid who was raised shooting that knows how to shoot a bolt action rifle 200 yards. And then we go on to the casings. And the indisputable thing that I don't think anyone can deny is this person was apparently terminally online, because everything that they wrote there is tied in with a variety of different meme cultures and S-posting and all of that stuff. The notices bulges is like a meme thing associated with either anime or furries that could be being used seriously, could be being used ironically. Who knows what they're actually trying to say with that? And then you have the 2 other things. I know the right is jumping on to say, well, this person was clearly an anti-fascist. I mean, one of the things says, "Hey fascist, catch," and then has the arrows. So that could be that this person was some sort of anti-fascist who opposed Charlie Kirk because they were left-wing or something. That remains a possibility. I don't think that this proves it necessarily. As many people have already acknowledged, the arrow thing, it appears to be a reference to a video game. I played Helldivers 2. I know that those are the call-in symbols for a bomb in the game, and the game is a satire of sort of like a super anti-democratic fascist state in the future. So maybe he's using that meme to express anti-fascist views that he actually has, or maybe like the furry thing, it's just a terminally online thing that he's doing. The "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow," that does seem to be a reference to a sort of anti-fascist Italian song. And maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just exactly what it seems to be. Or again, maybe it's another terminally online thing. I mean, the last one, if you're reading this, you're gay, LMAO. I don't think that was an honest expression of homophobia. And so who knows with the weird troll culture that's been produced and everything, if these are serious representations or views of not. Again, it would make sense if they were. Charlie Kirk was a right winger. It makes sense that someone directly diametrically opposed to him would be the one to carry an attack like this. But there were also all sorts of different segments of the right that didn't agree with or like Charlie Kirk either. I mean, people are talking about the Gripers, they're talking about other splits, and there are lots of right wingers that don't like Trump and don't like MAGA too. And so we don't know for sure, but Waz, some evidence at least now is out there. What do you make of it so far?
I think it's kind of foolhardy to try to find an ideology and map it on to this violent act. I think, and I was reading Freddie DeBoer a couple of days ago as he spoke on this, and he's like, these things happen in reverse. These people do a violent act and will figure out ways to justify it afterwards. This guy wasn't driven by some cogent or coherent or anything that you and I would call ideology, something that we, steadfastly believe in, and these are the tenets and these are the principles. That's crazy to me. I mean, just the idea that your ideology would lead you to thinking that shooting Charlie Kirk, killing him in cold blood on a college campus could further the ends of some political project like that. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I like this idea that we're trying to figure out what this guy's belief system was. Was he a Marxist? Was he a part of the new right, conservative movement? Is he alt-right? It's dude, like you can't apply some logical sort of ideological thinking to somebody who can be driven to do something this vile and heinous. Like what he did is just a completely crazy, despicable, act of violence. Like the idea that there's some, coherent ideology out there that says, yeah, the thing to do is to kill Charlie Kirk. This guy's not in government. This guy can't push a button on anything important, for real, for real. Yes, he's influential to some younger right wingers, and that's important. He's deeply connected in terms of socially, he's very connected to the right wing infrastructure and government. But Charlie Kirk is not a guy. Like killing Charlie Kirk, like what has materially changed about our lives today by killing Charlie Kirk?
Yeah. In terms of those goals, I mean, we all feel less safe. We're all worried for the future. I mean, those things have certainly changed. But yeah, he can't. Charlie Kirk couldn't press a button and like fire government officials or whatever. That's Laura Loomer that can do that. But anyway, yeah, no, and I agree. Anybody who can do a thing like this, whether they're targeting a Republican or a Democrat or whatever, does not think like you and I, obviously.
At all.
I might agree. I might disagree to some extent about. I think there are people whose views are more fragmented. Like for instance, like when we look at the guy who killed the state rep in Minnesota, he had a 60-person list of targets of Democrats, abortion providers. I think I know kind of what he thought politically. Sometimes it's harder to say. Sometimes they just seem to want attention or whatever. So, and I think I have been trying to be very open to the possibility that this guy thinks of himself as a leftist. I'm not trying to like selectively identify the right wingers when they do it and then cover for the leftists or whatever. I'm just saying, I don't know. Again, I've played Helldivers. I don't think it's necessarily the proof that they think it is. Although I'm sure it's gonna be everywhere and online. And even if they don't think it's proof that this person's an anti-fascist, I'm sure they're gonna try to crack down on video games as a result of this. RFK Jr. was already trying to do that before the shooting earlier this week.
I agree with you, John, in the sense that maybe this guy thinks of himself as a leftist, but somebody has to show me where like Marx or Trotsky or any of these other leftist heroes, intellectual heroes are like, yeah, what you need to do is go out and kill pundits in cold blood. That'll spark the revolution.
Yeah, no, 100%. And obviously we've been very clear, as basically everyone, either like from centrist Democrats to hardcore leftists, has been that it is not acceptable. Any sort of violence.
How do you watch that video and come to any other conclusion?
That
that this is a heinous act. Like, how do you have any humanity within you? Like, it goes without saying, Charlie Kirk, his political views I found to be vile, heinous, disgusting, abhorrent, whatever adjective you want to use. He's the opposite of everything that I stand for politically. The idea that somebody should kill this dude, in cold blood on a college campus is insane to me.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, and I've been I've done videos about him before. I think that almost every word that's ever left his mouth has been absolutely disgusting and oftentimes hateful, and he's advocated for things I consider to be very violent. That said, violence is not acceptable in politics, and we've always been very clear about that. Which is why when the right, and we'll get to it later in the show, is like trying to push for leftists to basically never utter a sound again as a result of this, I don't accept that literally at all. I don't feel at all guilty about anything I've said because I know what I've said and I know what I haven't said. There's some who want you to. Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. I got nothing to do with that Peckerwood in Utah. You crazy? Like, give me a break. Like, we gotta be serious here. Utah is a very conservative state. This guy grew up this guy's father is a sheriff. You wanna bet that dude's not a leftist? Okay, like the community that reared this dude has nothing to do with leftism or progressivism, like in terms of the people around him. Now, the kind of nasty stuff that goes on online and on places like Discord and 4chan and all these other crazy places, that's a different story. But the idea that me, as somebody who is proudly on the left, I need to feel like I'm responsible for what this crazy kid did, that's absurd as a notion.
I 100% agree. Again, the only way I would maybe disagree is sometimes you grow up in this, like, it's Utah, it's rural, his family's super into guns, all that. You can go in the opposite direction to rebel. So again, I am open to any motivation it ends up being or whatever. But I am also saying that I have no plans to change literally anything that I advocate for or against. I'm not changing the language I use. I'm not changing the tactics I use. I may not always express myself as clearly and succinctly as was with the Peckerwood thing, but I do my best. That's my job and my obligation.